All right, so this is the advanced class that we will be working with today. Everybody's going to be doing a lot of writing. With my advanced people, I always want my advanced people to write a lot. It's very important for you to write. Eventually, we are going to be speaking. We're going to be doing a lot of talking. So I'm going to have you guys speaking as well. But it's important for our advanced people to do a lot of writing and speaking because that's the level where you are. We have to get you guys ready for conversation. Um, so this is Go Future Now advanced class on Wednesday, June 29th, 2016. This is the second advanced class that we have. So the last one was exactly 7 days ago. And so this is advanced class number 2. And in this advanced class, we're going to be using the verb to be in the present tense, which is very similar to what we did last time. But we are also going to be using the verb to be in the present tense in negative form. So we're also going to be working with the negative form of the verb to be today. And we are also going to look at the negative form with contractions. Okay, so we'll look at the negative form regular and we'll look at the negative form with contractions. And we're also going to be using the verb to be in the present tense in question form. So those are the three things that we're going to do today, right? We're going to look at the present tense in negative form, the present tense in negative form with contractions, and question form. And I want everybody to make sure that you have your notebooks. You will need to write in today's lesson, like every lesson with the advanced, you have to write. So make sure that you're ready to write, to copy things down. I'm going to do a quick review of the advanced class number 1 for last week. I think that's very good for the people that are new today with us. So last week, what we did, we looked at the verb to be, very basic, and we looked at the verb to be with pronouns and the three forms of the verb to be: am, is, are, and the correct pronoun. And then we also looked at the contractions. So we have I am, he is, he's, it is, it's, you are, you're. We also have you are in the plural, which is ustedes, right? You are, you're, she is, she's, we are, we're, they are, they're, right? So we practice that. And then we also practice all of these with the negative. So we practice them also with the negative, which will be coming up on your screen momentarily if it has not already. And with the negative, we have I am not. And we also did the contractions. I'm not. He is not. He's not. It is not. It's not. You are not. You're not. We also have the plural. You are not. You're not. She is not. She's not. We are not. We're not. They are not. They're not. What we also did was we did the contraction with the verb to be and the negative, right? So we also had that practice. And we said something very important about the first one: I am not. You cannot do a contraction with am and not. It's impossible. But some people in speaking will say ain't. I am not, I ain't. But you can't write it that way. You can only say it that way. And then you have all the rest. He is not, he isn't, it is not, it isn't, you are not, you aren't, the plural, you are not, you aren't, she is not, she isn't, we are not, we aren't, they are not, they aren't. And then at the end, we also worked with the questions, right? So we learned that to make a question with the verb to be, you take the verb to be and you put it in the beginning, right? You move it to the beginning. So I am changes to am I? Am I a good student? He is changes to is he? Is he a good student? It is changes to is it? Is it Monday? You are changes to are you? Are you going to study tonight? And the same thing with the plural. You are changes to are you. Then you have she is changes to is she. Is she studying tonight? We are changes to are we. Are we good students? And they are changes to are they. Are they studying tonight? Okay. So this was the review from last week. This is what we learned in the advanced class last week, and it's still a little basic, but you want to start with the basic, and then we'll move faster. Para lo que están mirando esta clase por primera vez hoy, si sienten que está muy rápido, estamos haciendo un repaso de la semana pasada, por eso es que estoy un poco rápido, porque ya vimos esto. Si ven que estoy hablando mucho en inglés, es que esta clase es totalmente en inglés porque ya es a un nivel avanzado. Quiero que se mantengan con nosotros, porque como dije antes, algo sí se aprende, pero si ven que es muy avanzada, sí tenemos clases. La principiante, muchas de las direcciones son en español, y la intermedia, aunque es en inglés, yo voy mucho más al paso, porque las personas todavía están a un nivel, todavía aprendiendo a escuchar el inglés y entenderlo cuando es hablado en forma rápida. I want to say hello to Mariela. Mariela, thank you for being with us. I saw the chat that you sent. Very, very happy to have you with us. Si hay preguntas durante la clase, por favor la pueden poner en el chat. También la pueden poner donde les enseñé antes, la parte que es de question and answer, que está debajo del chat a la mano izquierda. También pueden poner pregunta ahí. Si no han hecho el poll, la encuesta que le pregunté, por favor lo hagan, y al final vamos a mirar cuántas personas tenemos de dónde. Okay? I'm going to keep going. We're going to start the lesson, but voy a seguir porque vamos a empezar la lección. So in this first part, we have the verb to be in the present tense, right? The verb to be in the present tense. I'm going to give you guys 5 sentences. I want you to write these sentences because we're going to work with these sentences today. All right? They might look a little advanced. They're a little bit, they're longer. I put more vocabulary in them. If you don't understand something in the sentence, please let me know. Please let me know and I will explain it. Okay, so the first sentence is, they're studying English right now over the computer. They're studying English right now over the computer. And that means ellos están estudiando inglés. Right now is ahorita mismo, en el momento. Over the computer, sobre la computadora, right? They're studying English right now over the computer. This sentence uses the verb to be in a contraction. They are. It is the present continuous or the present progressive. They are studying. And then you have the rest of the sentence. They are studying English right now over the computer. You want to copy that sentence because you are going to be using it. We're going to be rewriting these sentences a couple of times. The next sentence is, the teacher is ready to start today's class. The English teacher. The English teacher is ready to start today's class, right? So take a look at it. We also have another verb to be. The English teacher is ready to start today's class. Take a look at it. Let me know if there's any questions, if you understand it. What this means is el profesor o profesora, porque teacher en inglés no es femenino ni masculino, es general. So vamos a decir profesor, el profesor de inglés está listo para empezar la clase de hoy. Right? The English teacher is ready to start today's lesson and today's class. And today's, it has an apostrophe S. Apostrophe S is not a contraction. Apostrophe S means possession. La clase es de hoy, le pertenece a hoy en día. Today's class. Entonces el apostrophe S enseña la posesión de la clase que le pertenece al día de hoy. Today's class. No es una contracción. All right? We're going to move on to the next sentence. And in the next sentence, we have, Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students, right? Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. That's the next sentence, okay? And that one means Roberto y Dora son estudiantes de ESL intermediante, right? That's what we have. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. The next one is, she's very happy with her online courses. Again, we have a contraction. She's very happy with her online courses. She is, but we have a contraction. She's very happy with her online courses. Ella está muy feliz con sus cursos sobre la red o en línea, right? And then we have number 5. And number 5 is all of the students are working very hard in the class. All of the students are working very hard in the class. So, todos los estudiantes están trabajando muy duro en la clase. So, take a look at all of them. Quiero que miren las 5 oraciones. You should copy them, read them. Let me know if you have any questions on vocabulary, or let me know if there's anything that you don't understand in these 5 sentences, because we are going to use them in order to practice the other parts of this lesson, okay? So I'll give you guys maybe a minute or 2 to copy the sentences and to see if you have any questions about the sentences or about the vocabulary related to the sentences. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. Also, the second button, ask a question. It says, go ahead, ask a question. If you click on it, on the right-hand side, you can put a question and click submit, and then I'll see it. We also have the poll, right? I'm going to answer the poll as a participant as well. So I'm going to answer the poll. I'm going to put New Jersey because that's where I am, right? And then I'll be able to see later how everybody did with the poll, okay? So please let me know if there's any questions. If there's not, in a couple of seconds, we're going to move on to the next slide. And the next slide, we're going to focus on the negative form. We're going to focus on the negative form. And I'm also going to ask you guys to type. You are going to be typing in the chat box. So I'm going to be asking for that as well. Okay, so now we're on the next slide. It looks exactly the same because I'm using the same sentences. But the next slide, if you see on top, it says the verb to be in the present tense in the negative form. So this is what I want everybody to do. Look at the first sentence. They're studying English right now over the computer. Change that sentence to negative. Change that sentence to negative. And I want maybe a few people, maybe 2 or 3 people, if you can put the answer in the chat so that I know that you know the answer, and then I'll put it on the screen. So use the chat box, and I want you to tell me how to say the sentence, they are studying English right now over the computer. How do I say that in negative? Okay, so I'll wait for that. I'll wait for that answer now. All right, they're studying English right now over the computer. And you don't have to do a contraction. You can keep the contraction that's already there, but you don't have to do any extra contractions. All you have to do is add the part to the sentence that will make it negative. Okay, and I know it's a long sentence, so it might take some people a bit to answer, to type it in, but we're advanced, so we're going to be typing, and we're going to be writing some longer sentences. And as we continue with the class, they're going to get longer, right? We're going to be writing and typing longer and longer sentences because we're going to be getting better and better with our English, right? So I'm still waiting for an answer. I'm waiting for somebody to give me an answer for number 1. They're studying English right now over the computer. I want you to give me an answer making that sentence negative, okay? So I'll wait for somebody to answer that. Okay, and remember from the last class, we did talk about negative, so we did look at it. So you should be able to recall or remember from the last class how to do it. How to do it. They're studying English right now over the computer. Oh, we have a raised hand from Katia. Katia, if you have a question, you can put it on the chat, and we'll answer it. or is she trying to respond? You can respond to the chat box. We should have the chat box available, right? There, study. Okay, so I was waiting for the answer. So I'm gonna present an answer in the chat so you guys can see it. I see Katia put the answer. They are not good. You don't have to do the contraction, so that is correct. They are not studying English right now over the computer. That is great. Here's another answer here with the contraction that was already there. That's okay too. Both answers are correct. And if you see on the screen, I'm going to show you the answer there. So that's the correct answer. If you add not after the verb to be, if you add not after the verb to be, you're going to change the sentence to the negative form. That is the rule. Okay? So now that we know that, right? Now that we know that, let's do number 2. I want to see some answers for number 2. Okay? So let me get number 2. Now, number 2 says, the English teacher is ready to start today's class. The English teacher is ready to start today's class. I want somebody to type the answer, that sentence, in negative. I see we have an answer from Rafael. Um, they aren't studying English right now over the computer is correct. That is correct. What Rafael is doing, he is doing the contraction with are not, which is something we're going to do it later. We're going to do that later. So that's excellent. So we have all 3 ways there. I see some answers here. I see Katia is saying, well, number 2 is the English teacher is not ready to start today's class. That is correct. Mariana also has an answer for us. The English teacher is not ready to start today's class. That is also correct. Very good. So we have 2 answers there. Take a look at what you have in your notebooks. Take a look at what you thought the answer was. Check with the screen. Check with the chat. Those students, Katia and Mariana, that left those answers, they're correct. That's the right answer. Okay, we're going to move on to number 3. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. Turn that into negative. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. You don't have to do contractions yet. You don't have to do pronouns. We're going to work with things like that later. Right now, just simple. Change it to negative by adding not at the end of the verb to be. So for example, Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. To change it to negative, you're going to want to write it the way that one of our students wrote it on the chat. Robert and Dora are not intermediate ESL students. I see Mariana, she also gave an answer. Robert and Dora aren't intermediate ESL students. That's also correct. And we see Rafael saying Robert and Dora are not intermediate ESL students, and that is correct. We are going to be doing contractions later. So if you see the contraction and you're like, what is that? I'm not familiar with that. Don't worry, you're going to see it. Let's look at number 4. She's very happy with her online courses. She's very happy with her online courses. I want to see some students give me the answer in the negative form. I want to see the answer in the negative form. So I see an answer there. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to read it yet to give people the opportunity to write it in their notebooks. If you're thinking, right? If you're thinking and you want to see if you get the answer right, write it in your notebook and then look at the chat. Write it in your notebook first, then look at the chat. That way you can test yourself. Some students just know it a little quicker than others, but you can still test yourself because I won't say the answer right away. I'll wait so that you can write it in your notebook and then look at the chat and see if you got it right. So I see we have 2 answers for number 4. And number 4 is she's very happy with her online courses. And the answers that we have are she is not very happy with her online courses. She is not very happy with her online courses. I'm going to ask, don't go ahead. Traten de no ir muy rápido porque algunos estudiantes todavía están en el número 4. Y si ven la respuesta para el número 5, no pueden intentar la respuesta en sus libretas. So don't try not to go ahead of me. No me pasen. So number 4, she's not very happy with her online courses, or she isn't very happy with her online courses is also correct, right? And then you see the answer on the screen. And then you can look at number 5. All of the students are working very hard in the class. All of the students are working very hard in the class. So let me see the answer for that one. I'll wait for a few people to give me the answer for the last one. How do you make that negative? Okay. And then I'll show you the answer afterwards. Good. So all of the students are working very hard in the class. Change that to negative. You don't have to do a contraction yet, but you can if you know it. We're going to be doing contractions later. Okay. So I'll wait for a couple of responses. I know I got one. I'm going to wait for a few more. How do you write all of the students are working very hard in the class in the negative form? All right. So we're still waiting on that one. And also, while you're waiting, if you didn't get the first 4 correct, look at the answers on the screen and copy it. You can copy it and you can put it and you can put it in your notebooks. So we have 2 answers. We have Mariana that says all of the students aren't working very hard in the class. That's excellent. That is correct. We have Katia that says all of the students are not working very hard in the class. That is also correct. So what I'll do is I'll put all of the answers on the screen, and I'll give you guys the opportunity to copy the correct answer in the negative form. You can copy it into your notebook. So voy a dar la oportunidad para esos estudiantes que todavía están aprendiendo esta parte, que lo escriban en sus libretas. Ahí tienen las 5 oraciones escritas correctas en la pantalla. La pueden copiar y en unos cuantos segundos vamos a seguir a la próxima página. All right, in a few minutes we're going to go to the next page. All right, very good, everyone. So far, so good. So this is the verb to be in the present tense in the negative form. The verb to be in the present tense in the negative form. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next page. I'm going to move on to the next slide. And in the next slide, we're going to look at the verb to be in the present tense in the negative form with contractions. To be plus not. And when I say to be plus not means you can do a contraction with the pronoun verb, but I want you to do a contraction with the verb and not. So we're going to do the sentences again, but this time I want you to give me the answer with the contraction, but I want the contraction with the verb to be and not. Okay, so let's do number 1. Let's all do number 1. They're studying English right now over the computer. They're studying English right now over the computer. So I'll wait for some answers. Okay, so I'll wait for some answers. They're studying English right now over the computer. Let me see. They're studying English right now over the computer. We have an answer. We do have one answer. I'll wait for maybe one more. And then I'll read it and I'll show it to everybody. But that answer that I see there, it is correct. That's not a problem. Okay. Very good. They're studying English right now over the computer. Okay. So I'll wait for one more person to give me the answer. See if they agree or disagree with the answer that I see. But the answer that I see does look good. It looks good to me. Okay. They're studying English right now over the computer. Let's see it as a negative. All right, and as someone is typing it, I am going to also present it. So if you're typing it, please continue and present it to us as well. But the answer is they aren't, right? Verb to be and not together, aren't. They aren't studying English right now over the computer. Rafael says, I agree. Very good, Rafael. Yeah, that is correct. And I agree as well. We're going to continue to the next one. The English teacher is ready to start today's class. So I want someone to give me the answer in the negative. I want someone to give me the answer in the negative, right? The English teacher is ready to start today's class. So I want that one in the negative. Remember contraction with the verb to be and not. Contraction with the verb to be and not. Okay. So the English teacher is ready to start today's class. The English teacher is ready to start today's class. And what would that be? A negative, doing a contraction with the verb to be and not. I have two answers. I have the English teacher isn't ready to start. Don't forget the T. Star is estrella. Start is empezar. Start today's class. Rafael says the English teacher isn't ready to start today's class. Mariana, the English teacher isn't ready to start today's class. Wonderful answers. All three answers are correct. Very good. Let's move on to number 3. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. Give me number 3 in negative. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. Give me that one in negative. Right? Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. And I'll wait for that one in the negative, doing a contraction with the verb to be and not. And so far, we're doing a great job. Seems like you guys really know this. If this is really easy for you, don't worry. It's only the second class. It's going to get more complicated, right? So this is the advanced level, but we do start basic and then we move fast, right? So if you think it's still too basic, don't worry. We are going to increase the intensity eventually, but for now, we're going to start just to basic, just to make sure that everybody understands the base that we need in order to move forward. Okay, so I'm still waiting for number 3. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students, and I see one answer. I'll wait for one more before I read it, but I see one. Okay. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students, right? And then I have another answer, and it says from Mariana, Robert and Dora aren't intermediate ESL students, and Katia agrees. Robert and Dora aren't intermediate ESL students. That is correct. We can move on to number 4. She's very happy with her online courses. She's very happy with her online courses. So I'll wait for the answer for that one. Make that a negative and be careful because it already has a contraction. So you have to take off the contraction and make a new contraction with the verb to be and not. She's very happy with her online courses. Mariana has an answer. We're going to wait for one more answer. Katia has an answer, so that's her second answer. And the answer is she isn't. That is correct. She isn't very happy with her online courses. Courses, I think I said class. It's courses, but class is okay. Courses, cursos, class, classes. She isn't very happy with her online courses. Okay, very good. That is correct. And then you can give me the last one. Let me get the last one. The last one reads, all of the students are working very hard in the class. All of the students are working very hard in the class. Give me that one in negative. Everyone else, if you're having trouble with the system or typing, please let me know. We'll try to figure it out. I know that Mariela is having some trouble with the system, so she's not going to be able to type, but she is with us. She is with us. She actually messaged me that she's having trouble with the typing, but that she is with us. So she's writing in her notebook and she's paying attention to the answers that you guys are giving. Um, I have three answers for the last one. I have Mariana, Rafael, and Katia. Uh, all, right? Forgot the A there. All of the students aren't working very hard in the class. Rafael has the same answer. Katia has the same answer, so that is correct. What I'll do now is I will leave all five answers on the screen for maybe a minute or two so that you can copy them. If you don't know this or if you want it for more practice, I suggest you copy all five sentences so that you can see these sentences in the negative form. This is present tense, negative form with contractions. And now we're doing contractions with the verb to be plus now. Okay? I want to thank everybody who was in the chat helping us with the answers and putting some answers up there. I know it's hard if you're writing and you're trying to type at the same time, but it's appreciated because sometimes it's really good for me to see what you guys are writing so that I can correct you and I can see if there's any problems or any trouble that we're having. So it really does help a lot to have people on the chat. I'm going to continue to the next page. So you have all five sentences there. And hopefully you've been able to copy them. If you were not able to copy them, don't worry. You are going to get the video. When you get the video, you're going to be able to see the whole class again, right? And the video is also really good for pronunciation, by the way. You can listen to me again and see if you understand all of my directions and everything that I'm saying. I mean, that's really good to practice the ear for the understanding, the pronunciation. We're going to move on to the next slide, using the verb to be in question form, right? So before I give you the five sentences again, I'm going to show you what we need to do in order to change a statement to a question using the verb to be in the present form. So here on the screen, you have a sentence. Robert is a student, a very basic sentence. Robert is a student. If you take the verb to be and you move it to the beginning of the sentence, if you move the verb to be to the beginning of the sentence, it becomes a question. Is Robert a student? And don't forget to put the question mark at the end. Is Robert a student? Don't forget to put the question mark at the end. So that's how we're going to make questions with the five sentences that we've been working with, okay? So here's the next slide. And on the next slide, we have the verb to be in the present tense in question form. So this is what I want you to do. Look at number one again. And I want you to write number one as a question, okay? I want you to write number one as a question, all right? So I'll wait to see some answers there. Remember that if you want to make a statement a question, all you have to do is take the verb to be and move it to the beginning of the sentence. Take it out from where it is, move it to the beginning of the sentence. And then you will be able to ask the question, okay? So let me see number one as a question. I'll give you guys some time to do that. All right. I see we have one answer there. We have two answers there. So I'll start with Rafael's answer, and it says, are they studying English right now over the computer? You're missing something, Rafael. I think you know what it is. Katia's answer has it. Are they studying English right now over the computer? Yeah, you want to make sure that you do have the question mark at the end, but your answer is correct. You take the verb to be, you put it in the beginning, and you're asking a question. Let's look at number two. The English teacher is ready to start today's class. The English teacher is ready to start today's class. So let's ask that as a question. How do we ask that as a question? The English teacher is ready to start today's class? So let's do that as a question, right? The English teacher is ready to start today's class. Take the verb to be, put it in the beginning, and then you will be asking a question. Okay, we have one answer. I'll wait for another answer, at least one more that we can use as an example, and then I'll show you the answer on the screen as well. So there's the second answer. Don't forget the question mark at the end. Is the English teacher ready to start today's class? Question mark. That is the correct answer. Mariana, you have the correct answer, except you just want the question mark at the end. Is the English teacher ready to start today's class? Good. And don't forget, apostrophe S. Apostrophe S means that it's possession, that the class belongs to today. Okay, I let the next answer show by mistake too quickly, but it's all right. It's going to cover up again. And then the next one, Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. So what I want is give that to me as a question. Number three, let me see that as a question. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. So let me see that as a question. Find the verb to be, move it to the beginning, and that will make it a question. Okay, so I'll wait to get at least two responses of that. Robert and Dora are intermediate ESL students. I'll just wait to see that on the screen. Find the verb to be, move it to the beginning, and you will turn the statement into a question. Okay. So we have an answer there that I'm looking at, and that does look good. That does look good. And I'll just wait for one more, and then I'll show the response on the screen. Make sure that if this is the first time that you're seeing this, that you are copying it down so that you can practice it throughout the week. Okay, so we have three answers there. Are Robert and Dora intermediate ESL students? All three answers are correct. Very good. Let's do number four. Number four reads, she's very happy with her online courses. She's very happy with her online courses. Okay, so let's take a look at that one. And I want that one as a question. This one, again, it's in a contraction, so you have to take the contraction off first. Then you can move the verb to be to the beginning. Okay, so move the verb to be to the beginning. And don't forget to add the question mark at the end. And the answer will be a question. The answer will be a question. So we have two answers there. We have, is she very happy with her online courses? And that is correct. Is she very happy with her online courses? Okay, very good. Is she very happy with her online courses? And then we'll do number five, right? Thank you, Mariana. Is she very happy with her online courses is correct as well. Very good, everybody. Now, the last one, all of the students are working very hard in the class. All of the students are working very hard in the class. So let's turn this one into a question. Okay, let's turn this one into a question. Again, locate the verb to be, put it in the beginning of the sentence, rewrite the sentence, and do not forget to put the question mark at the end. You are going to need a question mark at the end. Okay, all of the students are working very hard in the class. All right. All of the students are working very hard in the class. All right, we have two answers there. All of the students working very hard in the class? Are all of the students working very hard in the class? That is correct. that is right. Make sure that you copy these down in your notebooks, especially if you are learning this for the first time, or if you're having a little bit of difficulty, you want to copy it and you want to practice it throughout the week. I'll leave this up maybe for like another minute or two so that everybody can copy it into their notebooks if you haven't done it already. All right. But remember the rule. In order to ask a question with the verb to be, the verb to be has to come at the beginning of the question. In order to ask a question using the verb to be, the verb to be has to come at the beginning of the question, right? And then do not forget the question mark at the end. Do not forget the question mark at the end. Okay? So, with that said, we're going to be finishing up in about 15 minutes. The next thing that I want to show you guys is the homework that you're going to be doing. All right? So, the homework that you're going to be doing is very similar to what we did. All right? It's very similar to what we did today. You're going to look at the following sentences. They're shopping at the mall. She's reading a great book. John and I are studying tonight. My classmates are very bright. Bright is inteligente. My classmates are very bright. Our class is very interesting. My mother is learning English online. He is reviewing his homework. You are learning English, you are learning English with GFN. GFN just means GoFutureNow. That's our company, right? So you're going to write these sentences that you see here, but you're going to write them in the question form, and you're going to write them in the negative answer form, right? They're already in the positive form. All right, so you're going to write them like that, and you're going to send them to me here. I'm going to put my email address. I'm going to put my email address on the chat. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to do this homework. You know, I want you to do it tonight. When we're done, take like 15, 20 minutes. It's not going to take long. Take 15, 20 minutes, and I want you to type it up and send it to me. Okay? Yeah, you can also do a screenshot. If you know how to do a screenshot, you can take a screenshot. But you know what? At the same time, though, it's really good if you do copy it. And the reason I say that is some people learn a lot better when they copy what they see. But if you don't have time, you can do the screenshot. The only problem is when you actually physically copy it, when you copy it on a notebook, you actually pay more attention to it. And that's just something that I've realized while teaching in classrooms. People that try to take a picture, sometimes they get it just fine because they study at home. But people that copy by hand usually remember it better. So either way is fine. You can do a screenshot, and then you can do the homework, or you can just copy it in your notebook and then do the homework. Yeah. So either or yeah, or you can do that like Rafael is saying. He's saying, well, you know, you can take the screenshot and then you can copy it from the screenshot to the notebook so that you get the practice writing it. So yeah, definitely that's very good. That would work as well. So that's what I want you guys to do for homework. I want you guys to do it tonight. Okay? I feel like if you wait till tomorrow or the next day, you're not going to do it. I want you, after this class is over, take the 15 minutes. I want you to do the homework, and I want you to email it to me so I can look at it. And then I'll email you back. If there's any mistakes, I'll email you back and I'll let you know what the mistakes are, okay? So those are them. I'll leave that screen for another minute or two so that you can copy it. Another thing is, don't forget, you're going to get this in a video. So you get all of these classes in a video, like a YouTube video, if you're familiar with YouTube. And you can review the video, you can pause it, and all of those things, okay? In case you need to see these sentences again. I'll read them one more time, and then I'll move on to the next page. They're shopping at the mall. She's reading a great book. John and I are studying tonight. My classmates are very bright. Our class is very interesting. My mother is learning English online. He is reviewing his homework. You are learning English with GFN, with GoFutureNow. Okay? Those are the sentences. The next thing I want you guys to do, I want you guys to go to the website and look at the things that we have there, the resources that we have on the website. In the bottom, you're going to see a button that says Inscríbete. There you can put all your information so you can sign up to be part of the website. After you do that, you can put your name and your password, su nombre y contraseña, on the top, and you'll be able to go into the website. And in the next screen, I'm going to show you a little bit of what the website looks like and some of the things that you can do there. These are really good things. These are really good tools for you to practice throughout the week while you're waiting for the next online class. This is what the website looks like when you're able to sign in, and you'll be able to see mis cursos. Mis cursos are the button on the left-hand side with the red arrow that I'm pointing at. And you can also go to the blog. Mis cursos, you have to pay for them. They're $3, but they last about 2 weeks. So, I mean, it's a really, really good deal. The blog, however, which is in the bottom, and the red arrow, the second red arrow is going to show it. The blog, they're completely free. Okay? We do have some materials there. You should look at all the materials in the blog. Everything in the blog is really good, and you don't have to pay for it. So it's actually really good just to take advantage of that. You are going to learn. As a matter of fact, today I'm going to show you a little bit of what the blog has. I was interested in showing you a little bit of what the blog has. I want everybody to go to Aprender Inglés Puede Ser Fácil. It's the first blog that's listed. Aprender Inglés Puede Ser Fácil. And there's going to be a red arrow showing you where you can go. So you go to the website, you go to the blog, and then you go there. You go to Aprender Inglés Puede Ser Fácil. And if you go to that part, you're going to get a nice little lesson. There's going to be an introduction. The introduction is in Spanish because, I mean, this part is for beginners, but some of the information can be a little bit advanced too. So it can help you. And when you get there, you're going to see this. The verb to be in the past, was and were, which is really good because we're going to be doing that very soon in this advanced class. We're going to move to the past tense. So you can look at it early. You're also going to see a couple of explanations on how to use the verb to be in the past correctly. Those explanations are going to be in Spanish, so anybody can read it and understand it. And after you look at those explanations and you practice it, you can also leave a comment. Okay, you'll be able to leave a comment all the way in the bottom, and we'll respond. So you can leave a suggestion or a question, and we'll respond to them. We'll respond to them. If you have a private question, you can email us or you can give us send us a message. But if you want to put a question so other people can see it, which is wonderful, so they can learn, you can write it there where it says preguntas y sugerencias. You can write it right there, and we'll respond to everybody. Once again, the website is www.gofuturenow.com. I'm going to wait for everyone to do their homework, right? To email it to me, to send it to me so I can see it. Again, we have a class on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. For beginners. We have a class on Monday at 7 p.m. for intermediate students. We have a class on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for advanced students. Okay, so if you want to try some of the other classes, if you want to try all of the classes, you can do that, and maybe you'll find the class that you feel most comfortable or the level that you feel most comfortable with.